वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदिव्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we continue our study. Bhagavad Gita. See, it is a journey of a breakdown to breakthrough. We all experience breakdowns in life, right? There won't be a single person who hasn't experienced a big breakdown in life. Uh, and but we all struggle to find as such breakthrough, or yeah, we get breakthroughs, but most of our breakthroughs, I would say, is all material breakthroughs, as in with material bodily identity based on my past samskars, karmas, desires. And yeah, that I take as a breakthrough, as in I could be jobless or for a couple of years, say, and then I find a job, and ultimately 5 years down the line, I find a job which is really good for me. So I say, oh wow, I had such a breakthrough. But this is all based by and large on my karma, and so something is in life is set. Yes, materially everything is set by and large, and spiritually everything is kind of revolving around me or giving me the option to exercise the right choices. So we all go through breakdown in life. Real breakthrough is when there is a divine intervention, a spiritual intervention, which happens. The instigation has to be on a sadhaka's part. Arjuna instigated. Arjuna opened his heart to Krishna, and now there is a complete divine intervention, pure in divine Krishna intervention, all the way giving him ultimate breakthrough in life. Likewise for us, when we open ourselves to Bhagavad Gita, to Krishna consciousness, to the process of Krishna consciousness, and as I always say, the highest is opening ourselves to a devotee, having that devotee relationship, that friendship with a devotee, that comfort, that security, trust, faith, confidence. When that bonding is there with devotee, that becomes then Krishna consciousness takes another level. Krishna becomes very pleased when I have good devotee sentiment, good devotee relationships. I'm building good faith, trust amongst devotees, and specifically, it further and further narrowing it down to one's Guru Maharaj actually. And then all the imports of the Shastra, all the messages of the Shastra, they get revealed in the heart. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasado yasya prasada na gati gotopi. और यस्य देवे परा भक्तिर यथा देव तथा गुरु तस्येते कथिता अर्थ प्रकाशन्ते महात्मना. We know from Satvashvara Upanishad that the one who has implicit faith in the Shastras, in the scriptures, in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and one's Guru Maharaj and devotees, for him everything is revealed in the heart. So to say Krishna consciousness is a revelation of the heart. It is not to give us any intellectual stimulation or mental stimulation or some intellectual appeal or some egoistic satisfaction. No, it is not mind deep, it is not intelligence deep, certainly not body deep or senses deep. It is soul deep, heart deep. And the food for the soul is bhajan only. Krishna bhajan. है ना? Krishna Kirtan, Krishna bhajan is the proper food of the soul proper. So with this prayer attitude, aspiration for further breakthroughs, how much more can I appreciate devotee association and the blessings which I have received from devotees in my life? And can I be ever grateful for it? I should be ever grateful for it. With this mood, prayer, understanding, we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we read up until now chapter 10, text 11. Today we'll start from 12, 13. But before that, maybe would just like to read translations of 8 to 11 and then go into 12 and 13. So, Lucy, maybe you can, or Harsha, start off with 8, just read the translation, Lucy 9, if Alexander is there 10. So, between you, read the translations, please, one by one.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Let's see text 12 and 13. So, this is what Krishna told 8 to 11 or beginning till 11. Now, Arjuna will share his realization. Hearing this, what Arjuna comes up with. And Arjuna's realization, they are his realization, and we should really cherish his experience, his realization, and they should become ours as well. So, Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum अहं त्वां ऋषये सर्वे देवर्षि नारदस्तथा असीतो देवलव्यास स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे. Okay, maybe Lucy read translation and purpose one by one can be shared, please.
Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All of the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me."
Kindly read purport. Alessandra, are you there?
Yeah. In these two verses of the Supreme Lord gives a chance of the Maya Avdi philosopher, for there is
Mayavadi.
Mayavadi philosopher, for here it is clear that the Supreme is different from the individual soul. Arjuna, after being essential for 4 verses of the Bhagavad Gita in this chapter, became completely free from all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He at once boldly declares, "You are Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and previously Krishna stated that he is the originator of everything and everyone. Every demigod and every human being is dependent on him. Men and demigods, out of ignorance, think that they are absolute and independent from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That ignorance is removed perfectly by the discharge of devotional service. This has already been explained in the previous verse by the Lord. Now, by his grace, Arjuna is accepted him in the supreme truth, in accordance to the Vedic injunction. It is not that because Krishna is Arjuna's intimate friend, Arjuna is flattering him by calling him the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Whatever Arjuna says in these two verses is confirmed by Vedic truth. The Vedic injunction affirmed that only one who takes devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand him, whereas others cannot. Each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction.
In the Kena Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Brahman is the rest for everything. And Krishna has already explained that everything is resting on him. The Mundaka Upanishad confirms that the Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of him. This constant thinking of Krishna is Smaranam, one of the methods of devotional service. It is only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand his position and get rid of this material body.
In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is accepted as the purest of the pure. One who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure can become purified from all sinful activities. One cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. Arjuna's acceptance of Krishna as the Supreme Pure complies with the injunctions of Vedic literature. This is also confirmed by great personalities, of whom Narada is the chief.
Krishna is the supreme Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. He is the supreme existence. He is free from bodily needs, birth, and death. Not only does Arjuna confirm this, but all the Vedic literatures of the Puranas and the histories. All the Vedic literatures, Krishna is thus described, and the Supreme Lord himself also says in the 4th chapter, although I am unborn, I appear on this earth to establish religious principles. He is the supreme origin. He has no cause, for he is the cause of all causes, and everything is emanating from him. This perfect knowledge can be had by the grace of the Supreme Lord.
Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these two verses. This is called the Parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence in Vedic literatures, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me.
Hare Krishna. Are you finding Bhagavad Gita a bit soothing, calming, therapeutic, as they say?
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
Such nice therapy, right? Like read it any time of the day, actually. And look, some of us, we haven't managed actually this time to perhaps study it right from the very beginning. But even though we are studying from anywhere, any portion, still I suppose we are able to connect and we are able to find a message, and it's not like we are getting lost anywhere as such. In Krishna consciousness, one doesn't lose himself. There's no scope of losing oneself in Krishna consciousness, rather, one finds oneself. It is all the whole Krishna consciousness works on paradox only. In material world, one may think that I found myself, but we are in ignorance. We are so much in ignorance in material world. I don't even know the workings of my body, how it works and all. I don't even know myself very clearly, what to speak of others and all. So I'm losing myself out in this world as such. But in Krishna consciousness, the more one devotes, he doesn't lose himself, rather he finds himself anew. Anew. What does anew mean?
Kind of like restarting, like a new beginning,
Mm,
like a fresh.
a new cycle.
Yeah. So we find ourselves a new person, altogether a new person, practicing Krishna consciousness. So Arjuna also is finding so much peace listening from Krishna, and this is his realization. Very befitting what Krishna mentioned about himself, and Arjuna's realization also very befitting. Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Brahma means spiritual energy, spark, spirit, and Param Brahma means the supreme spirit. We are also Brahma, but we are not the Param Brahma. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are Krishnas. We are gods. And believe it or not, God has more than one child. God is not so limited. Yeah, he has actually more than one child. So we are Krishnas, and Krishna is Param Brahma. We are Brahma, as in energy, sparks, spiritual rays, spiritual beings, and Krishna is supremely spiritual. Param Dhama. See, anything to do with Krishna, it has to be Param. What does Param say in the translation? In the word to word meaning? We see this slok, Param, right? In Arjuna's response. So Param is like supreme, higher, transcendental. So Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Krishna's abode. It's not like Krishna is homeless or he's just somewhere in the clouds. No, no. Krishna has his house, Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha realm, and within Vaikuntha realm, the jewel of Vaikuntha realm, the cream, the complete essence, the jewel of Vaikuntha realm is Golok Vrindavan. Krishna has his mom and dad. And again, believe it or not, Krishna has an elder brother. So God has an elder brother. Krishna is the source of all everything, and he has an elder brother. Uh, Yes, that is Krishna consciousness. He has his friends, and he's a cowherd boy, Golok Vrindavan, and relishing simple village life, everything. So Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Krishna is supremely pure, and I am anything but pure. This one will realize as one starts practicing Krishna consciousness. If one is genuinely practicing Krishna consciousness, one can never be arrogant, one can never be pride, one can never be puffed up. In society, you see, have you heard of this saying? Say, I don't know, I don't think so. It is any commonly used in the UK or in Europe or in Canada or America, Australia or New Zealand. Let me know if it is actually used and let me know. So, if a uh, if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. If you have heard of it, then complete. If wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost then. Character, principle, values, integrity, honesty. If that is lost, then everything is lost. But this is old school, as they say, huh? Old school. You know, currently what is hot in the market? The current version in the market is if wealth is lost, everything is lost. If health is lost, yeah, something is lost. And if character is lost, well, to begin with, what does character mean? What do you mean by character? What do you mean by principle, ethics, morality, or integrity? It's very debatable, and it's not something which is at least taught in school, college, and uni. I'm not sure if in school, college, and uni, what to speak of humility, the spelling of humility is also actually properly taught, what it means to be like humble, and the joy of humility, the joy, simplicity of humility. Anyways, uh, uh, I'm not trying to have a go at the education system or anyone. And things are there, they have their reason, their purpose. So, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Krishna is supremely pure, and a sadhaka would realize that I'm anything but pure. Even though I'm becoming pure, but still I have a long, long, long way to go. So Krishna is absolute truth. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Purusham Sashvatam Divyam. See, Purusham, God is a person. God is a person. Not God is not just some concept. He's not certainly a concept, and he's not certainly a crutch uh, for hope. Say, okay, you seem to be low with hope and all. Okay, use God as a instrument for your hope. No, God is not a concept of the mind, or not just a concept, not just in theory or some alien or figure in the behind the clouds. No, God is a person, a spiritual person, top to bottom, toe to head, complete spiritual, full of bliss and knowledge, the all capable personality whom Vedic literatures call as Krishna. That is God. Love means two. Love means two. If love is not two, then it is self-centered. Is it not? If it is not two, then it is self-centered. So love means two. Krishna and us, Radha Krishna and us. And one more thing, whenever we say Krishna, it is never in isolation. It is Radha and Krishna combined. Especially teachings of Mahaprabhu, when we see far out teachings of Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna एक आत्मा दुई दे धरी अन्य अन्य रस विलसने रसास्वादन करे. Radha Krishna एक आत्मा दुई दे धरी. They're one in spirit, एक आत्मा, and they have expanded themselves in two bodies. No one is a match for God, right? So, Krishna is the uh, source of pleasure, source of love. Krishna is the supreme, say, uh, bestower of love, And Radharani, she's the supreme, like say, provider of love in that sense. So Radha Krishna ek atma dui dedhari. One one personality expanded into and अन्य अन्य रस विलसने रसास्वादन करी अन्य अन्य विलसने रसास्वादन करी with different moods, mellows, exchanges, varieties of love they experience between each other and expand it further. So all the gopis, they are the Kaya view expansion of Srimati Radharani. Everything in spiritual world is actually an expansion of love, 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 which expands so much, all ever expanding, uh, which we see in society as well when say men and women they meet up, they come up in a relationship, they want to have children. Children are supposed to be what an expansion of their love actually, or in that sense, and then want to have a family and further this community spirit, all this is what is an expansion of love within ourselves. But this sort of love has a material angle to it, a material uh, twist and turn to it. But the spiritual love is all to serve. It's all service driven for the joy and the benefit and the care and concern of my beloved. So this is Arjuna's realization. Purusham. Krishna is a person, original person. Purusham Sashvatam Divyam, transcendental, original person. Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. The old days, the eternal, the original person, unborn, yeah, greatest unborn personality. And this he is not saying for himself. Ahustvam Rishiya Sarve. Yeah, this he has heard from all the sages, scriptural study and all. Hmm? Deva Rishis, from whom? From Narad Muni, Deva Rishis, the sage of the demigods, Lord Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa. Hmm? And now Krishna himself is declaring this. So this is Arjuna's realization, hearing Bhagavad Gita so far from Krishna. And we are also uh, studying Bhagavad Gita, we should become like Arjuna. It's not like that we have to replace Arjuna. There's no need. There's nothing like okay, Arjuna, your time is up, or and I become Arjun. No, we have to become Arjunvat, as in like Arjuna. So follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. Follow in the mood, in the understanding of Arjuna. That is, see, bhakti is loving devotional service, and bhakti is done in the process of following a devotee. That is the bhakti. So the how I follow Arjuna, how Arjuna has been listening Bhagavad Gita, that's how I should follow. And the transformation which Arjuna got, naturally I will also come across those transformation, provided I am a bit open, I am a bit willing, and I am uh, say freeing myself from unbiasedness or any faulty thoughts, any unmotivated desire, unadulterated. Surely there would be some sitting there inside, but at least I carry some sincerity. And the day I build a relationship or a faith in a devotee, the day I start seeing someone as at least he is a pure person, he or she is a pure person, a genuine person. Yeah, they to some extent they fulfill the scriptures, what the scriptures say. They are living by that embodiment. They have got understanding of scriptures, genuine, trustworthy. Say it takes time, relationship building, relationship with devotees, and it's not a forceful thing as well. Now, Krishna consciousness is not like a forceful imposition upon someone, and it is so broad that it doesn't need to be forced upon anyone. Generally, something if something is forced, then okay, means there must be some hidden agenda, some motive, or well, there's some lacking. So force it upon someone, apply pressure, exert some control, and all. No, nothing, not like that in Krishna consciousness. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness doesn't needs anyone approval or proof or certificate. and certainly not a filthy person like mine, say, or conditioned practicing devotee like mine. But this is a genuine appreciation, perhaps, and all for my purification, helping me to understand Bhagavad Gita, helping me to one day become a devotee of Krishna. So this is Arjuna's realization, and if we follow in his footsteps, we should also be coming across such a realization. We will be getting such a realization. Nothing beats one's own experience, and that is what turns into conviction. And what is the proof of Bhagavad? See, there are hundreds and there are quite a few versions of Bhagavad Gita. But why is it we study this Bhagavad Gita as it is? The commentary we see, well, first of all, it's very authentic in the sense there's a word to word meaning of each and every Sanskrit word. Uh, the commentary, Prabhupada, oh wow, such a personality. Acharyas, eight acharyas, grand establishers, say, uh, pure souls. Of their commentaries, Prabhupada has given us the essence. And so much so, see, Prabhupada wrote these commentaries in 60s, 70s, or maybe a bit early as well, could be 50s. And we in the 21st century, 2022 English calendar as per, we are studying it and we are able to relate to it, these purports and all so much. So it's a timeless wisdom. It is not like, okay, outdated. No. The message of Bhagavad Gita is never outdated. It is always relevant. It will be always relevant. And the purpose, Prabhupada's purports are what they are, his realizations. So the realizations of a pure devotee, and they have the ultimate potency to touch my heart. Not just touch my heart, actually, to penetrate my heart and give me real clarity, real knowledge, real joy. Mm. Even though I'm not actually seeking for it. But this is what mercy means. Mercy means not checking that, oh, does one deserve it or not deserve it as such. No, it's a free flow of mercy. Just if I've got my hands properly shaped that I can take it on board. Only that bit. So what is required? Can I again come forward to Krishna and say, okay, I've acquired knowledge, so now come on, give me your mercy and I can handle it? No. It is only when I realize that Krishna, I'm in lack of knowledge, then only Krishna consciousness will sprout out. It's not when I say Krishna, okay, I've got prior knowledge or I have got knowledge. See, I was very good in my A grades, in my GCSE O levels or in my IIT exam. This exam I was quite bright. I was a very intelligent student, so I can handle it. No, that's not the attitude. That's not the mood. If I genuinely consider that Krishna actually am in need of knowledge, I do not understand, then help is there. So Arjuna realized this, and we should also be realizing this. We should be walking in the footsteps of Arjuna. Then Krishna won't be at all far from us. There's no shy in asking for help. Another question, whom do we ask help from? And what sort of help? Even what sort of help doesn't matter. But if I'm approaching Krishna, I'm approaching devotees, then I will get the right help. And I may not know what my real problem is. I would get to know the real problem and the real solution. So it's not like we have to, okay, maybe I ask this question. What is the difference between following someone and mimicking someone? Following someone and imitating someone? No. What is the difference between to follow or to duplicate or mimic, to imitate, to copy?
One, the first, you're like almost finding out about your own authenticity with guidance, but mimicking is just kind of ignoring the part of you that is true, if that makes sense.
Couldn't gather it very clearly, I think.
You couldn't hear.
If you say again,
Um, so the first, what did you say? Following someone
yeah,
compared to
and
mimicking.
mimicking or imitating, copying someone.
Yeah, so the first one as well, it's like a partnership and you're finding out you're both being authentic in the situation. Whereas mimicking, you're not learning anything, you're kind of ignoring who you are and just trying to be the other person. So it's inauthentic.
Nice. Harshali, any thoughts or anyone else, any thoughts?
I think follow can be moving behind in the same path or direction whom we are following. So it's kind of positive to me. And mimicking can be aping or probably copying and sort of a mock. So that can be like, I mean, not very good.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Like following someone, you can gain learning and understanding on how to do something because you're almost like looking up to someone like a leader to see how something can be done. So you're almost like in, I don't know if admiration is the right word, but something along those lines. And then mimicking is like there's no room for you to come into your own way of doing something. You're in a safety of copying someone, kind of what like Arshana said.
Okay, nice. See, Prabhupada used to do japa, we also do japa, right? Our acharyas, Raghunath Das Goswami, the principal acharya, he used to do japa, we also do japa. But we are trying to follow, we are not trying to mimic, we are not trying to copy, we are not trying to duplicate. We are trying to follow Arjun, we are not trying to mimic or copy Arjun. Because that would be very heavy, very lethal. Mimicking or copying a devotee, a pure devotee. As in, without becoming purified, but claiming to be pure. Wow. Huh? Without becoming purely purified, but if I show that I am pure, if I claim or if I show or exert that I am pure, wouldn't it create a chaos in society? Wouldn't it create a chaos in my own consciousness ultimately? I've not become internally pure or I've not purified myself. I've not gone through the austerity, the heat. I've not controlled my mind and senses properly internally. But externally, I've learned that sort of the style, sort of the charisma, and I exert or show that yes, I'm actually quite pure and elevated. So we want to do japa. Prabhupada did it. Acharyas did it. Srila Rupa Goswami did it. But with a not a view of mimicking them. We will get burned if I start mimicking them with that mood. Mimicking means replacing. Okay. Replacing as in say my spiritual master or the temple president. Okay. Now I am trying to mimic him and one day I replace him. Mimicking leads to this bhav, this emotion of replacing someone and taking on his position and then kicking him out, taking on his position and then ruling over others sort of or coming into right limelight. But the attitude, the mood in following someone is to please someone, no more than that. Following means to pleasing the person, to serve the person. That is following. So it is the other person's joy. Follow as in my leader's joy. Prabhupada's joy, Srila Rupa Goswami's joy, spiritual master's joy, devotee's joy. So in Krishna consciousness, actually one who is a follower, he's actually a leader. He's actually not behind, he's actually at the front. And in traditional sense, we see, oh, with this followership means when all, since how long have I to follow? Oh, will I keep on following or what? No, I need to overtake one day. In societal terms, follow means okay, you follow me, you are behind me. I am the leader, I show you the way. But in Krishna consciousness, one who is a good follower, he can only be a good leader. He is a good leader who is a good follower. Hmm. To follow means to humble. To mimic means externally show that I am humble, but internally I have a different agenda altogether. And I will get burned, completely burnt out. I will burn myself because I've not become pure, but externally, if I'm showing, I'm expressing, living, or walking as if I am very saintly, as if I'm very pure, as if I'm very genuine. So, whom am I cheating? Uh, I can cheat someone, but I cannot cheat myself. And surely I cannot cheat Krishna. Prabhupada was in Japan for book printing of Krishna book, I think, yeah, and don't remember that printing company. And there was a good price actually, a good bargain price or something like, okay, we can get good books printed at a relatively less price. So then there he spoke with the managing director or whosoever was there that what is your aim in life. So that person, he he had the business card or in on his table was the business card or something of his boss, and he took out his business card from his pocket and he flicked the boss's business card and put his business card in front of his boss's business card. So in societal worlds, following means taking someone's position, aiming at someone's chair, someone's position, and over a period of time, either that person resign or kick him out or something, and I come to his position. And then I set my own rules. I lead the way I want, the way I think is correct and all. But such is not in Krishna consciousness. Following means eternal following. It's not like, okay, I started my journey and I was following this Prabhu, and now I think I know better than him. I don't need to follow him now. I think I've gained enough of knowledge that I don't need to follow him anymore. In Krishna consciousness, once a follower, always a follower. That's how it should be actually. If I really am after Krishna, if I'm really am after Krishna, if I don't want to entertain any spiritual illusion or any spiritual conditioning, na, if I don't want to show that I have become pure, but I genuinely want to become pure. Is not there a difference between showing that I've become humble and genuinely becoming humble? So following is that thing, that genuinely becoming humble, genuinely appreciating of the beauty of Krishna. And if I am trying to become pure, if I'm trying to become genuine, Krishna is not far. All help is there. All help will be provided. But see, in this world, no one can cheat me for sure. Hmm? I also cannot cheat anyone. It is me only whom I can cheat. I can just cheat myself only, no one else. No one else. Everyone in this world and everything is there to help me become a devotee. Everyone and everything is there to help me excel. All help is there provided I am open, provided I'm open to follow. I'm open to adapt, I'm open to adjust, I'm open to listen. Huh, that thing. So the aim in Krishna consciousness is not to oversmart or this thing, overtake Arjuna, replace Arjuna, become Arjuna. No, become like Arjuna. There is no scarcity, Baba. There is no scarcity that oh Krishna can has only one Arjuna or if everyone becomes Arjuna. Like sometimes people ask this question, or if everyone becomes a devotee in this world, then how will the world run? You know how will the world run? Okay, so let me ask this question. If everyone becomes a devotee in this world, then how will the world run? Any thoughts? Should I say?
Yeah, you
If
say.
everyone, say again?
I just said, yeah, you say, because I don't know. I'd say there'd always be corruption somewhere, because can you guarantee that everyone would be a pure devotee? But hypothetically, if everyone was, then surely, yeah, the world would
Yeah,
be a nice place.
hypo hypothetically, if everyone becomes a devotee, then how will the this world run? Well, this world will run very peacefully. It's not like that we will have to stop the business. No. Having become a devotee doesn't mean that I don't eat food now or I don't need to eat food. That doesn't mean that I have to stop my job, I have to stop working, or one has to stop school, college, uni, or getting married and things like that and all. No, that doesn't mean at all. So, if the world becomes devotee, meaning if the world becomes takes Krishna as the center of everyone's life. See, if we all have the same center, where would there be a problem? No problem. No problem. But this world, especially this dark fallen winter age called Kali Yuga. Yeah? So hypothetically only we can say if everyone becomes a devotee in this world. Not everyone is that blessed enough. Surely everyone is blessed enough, but not everyone is intelligent enough to take into the process of Krishna consciousness, which is a bit saddening, definitely. Very, it's very sad that people refuse, decline, do not show interest, are so casual, have such enviousness, animosity, and laziness, and preconceived notions of Krishna consciousness. Tell you something, Krishna consciousness is anything but sectarian, or it is anything but Indian. Huh? He is not sectarian. See, Arjun, Krishna, what did he say? I am the source of everything and everyone, right? Of all the material and spiritual worlds. He's not saying that I'm the source of Hindus or I'm the source of everything Indian and coming from here and there. No, it's not for any particular sect. It is not a bodily designation. It is a subject matter of the soul proper. So yeah, this is Arjuna's realization, and this should become our realization. And Bhagavad Gita authenticity, well, the word to word meanings, the purport we can see, and what should be the effect of Bhagavad Gita? The effect should be there should be more Krishna temples, then there should be more Krishna devotees, there should be more Krishna Kirtan, there should be more Krishna Katha, and living by this philosophy and lifestyle and all. And we can see there's more Krishna literature being distributed, more and more temples and centers opening up, more and more telling a people about Krishna consciousness. That's the highest charity actually. Externally, it may seem what are they doing? This is the highest charity to help a soul connect with the super soul, to help a soul connect with the Krishna direct. What can be the best gift than this? And this will take away all depression actually. Everyone goes through depression, not just like a homeless person or someone. Everyone goes through depression. Just the extent could be different. Dealing capacity would be different. But there's none who hasn't had a phase or a patch or some moments or going through depression. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? So what Arjuna went through, this should be our realization as well, provided we are hearing the way Arjuna has heard Bhagavad Gita. And it's a process of following someone. It's a process of following, not replacing. There's a great deal of difference between following and copying or imitating. Externally looks the same. So one may say, well, Prabhupada chants, you are also doing japa. Are you not copying Prabhupada? Are you not copying Rupa Goswami? Are you not copying devotees? But the mood is what? The mood is not to replace, the mood is to serve. The mood is to glorify them. The mood is to become an eternal servant of them. The mood is to eternally be grateful for the gift, for the compassion they have bestowed upon me. That is the mood. Unlike in material sense, generally it is okay, how can I replace, how can I beat, how can I take that position? Okay, should we see next in that case? Okay, so let's see next. सर्वमेतदृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देव न दानव. I shall read translation and maybe Ellie you read purport, huh?
O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Arjuna heroine confirms that persons of faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. He is not known even by the demigods. So what to speak of the so-called scholars of this modern world? By the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood that supreme truth is Krishna and that he is the perfect one. One therefore follow the path.
One should.
One should therefore follow the path of Arjuna. He receives the authority of the Bhagavad Gita, as described in the fourth chapter of Para, Para, Parampara system of disciplic succession for the understanding of the Bhagavad Gita was lost. And therefore Krishna reestablished that the disciplic succession of with Arjuna, because he considered Arjuna his intimate friend and a great devotee. Therefore, as in our introduction to the
Gita
Gita
Upanishad.
Gitopanishad Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the Parampara system. When the Parampara system was lost, Arjuna was selective to rejuvenate it. The acceptance by Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And then only can we understand that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead.
Okay, Lucy read translation.
O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
By the way, so you never came across that saying, right? If health is lost, something is lost. Wealth is lost, everything is lost. If
No.
character, morality is lost, nothing is lost. Say, depending on whatever context. Say, like the
No, I've
Vedic
never
sense.
come across.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like people speak like this or on these lines in European or American settings. Generally, I don't think so. Yeah. But this is Vedic or Krishna conscious setting wherein health is important. Sharir madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Health is very important to look after one's health in the practice of Krishna consciousness because this body is a vehicle. We want to make respect this body first of all, keep it clean, neat, pure, and look after it for Krishna's joy. This body is a gift of Krishna. I should respect it. Krishna resides in this body, so I should make it a temple, a holy place for Krishna to reside. And if I respect my body, I won't be eating that which is not good for my body. I won't be overeating, I won't be oversleeping, and many such things and all. So health is very, very important. If health is lost, something is lost because then how can I actually chant more and more? How can I chant more loudly, more and more? How can I do more reading, hearing, more book distribution and things? If wealth is lost, I mean, that was to be lost only as such. Okay, it will come and go. Wealth is something not to really worry about as such. Krishna not cares for the wealth, right, as such. He doesn't care for the wealth. More of the principle, the sanctity and purity, the chastity of myself. So, Sarvam etad ritam manye yanmam vadasi Kesava. Kesava, beautiful name of Krishna. Oh Krishna, I totally agree, accept what you are saying as truth. I take it as truth. Neither the demigods nor the demons. Nahite Bhagwan Vyaktim. Nahite Bhagwan. Bhagwan means Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vyaktim, understand. Vidur Deva na Danava. Vidu means to know Deva, demigods, and Danava, the asuras, the demons. No, they don't know. So who knows actually then? Krishna, what is the way? Like Arjuna is saying, well, neither demigods or nor the demons also know. Well, one who is a bit willing to know, one who is a bit hungry to know, one who is a bit inquisitive to know, one who is simple. In simple terms, one who is simple, he can know Krishna easily, quickly. And in modern society generally, simple means someone who is a bit dumb. Generally speaking, correct me if I'm saying wrong. Generally, simple gives this connotation that oh, he's a bit slow, he's a bit behind the pace, say, he's not up to date with the world. That is too simple. He's quite simple, but no, actually, it is simplicity which attracts Krishna. So one who is simple, Krishna will reveal himself very quick to him. Arjuna is simple, or Arjuna became simple. He allowed himself to become simple. He acknowledged that Krishna, I am complicated, make me simple. Only that is required from our part as well. Look, Bhagavad Gita, two persons should read Bhagavad Gita. One who considers himself to be too intelligent, oh yeah, read Bhagavad Gita. And one who considers himself to be too dull as well should read Bhagavad Gita. One whose mind is too fast, too active, too quick, not too fast paced, too active, should read Bhagavad Gita. He will find that doing japa and Bhagavad Gita, one's active mind will be controlled. Active mind means agitated mind. है ना? Too active mind is agitated mind only, easily getting agitated. So one whose mind is very active all over the place should do japa, should read Bhagavad Gita. Then one will find his mind very becoming calm, peaceful, controlled. And one who thinks, oh, I don't have knowledge, I don't have understanding, he should study Bhagavad Gita, he should do japa. All knowledge will come about. All knowledge will come about. So again, a personality like Arjuna, if he can read Bhagavad Gita, then I should definitely read it. Like today, if I get to know, okay, some sports star, a big sports star, uh, Roger Federer is reading Bhagavad Gita. Wow. Huh? Serena Williams is reading Bhagavad Gita. Football player is reading Bhagavad Gita. Politician, celebrities, they are reading Bhagavad Gita. So if I take understand of Arjuna, well, a personality like Arjuna, he went into chaos. Wow. And what happened? He came across Krishna. He shared his heart with Krishna. Wow, really? And what next? Well, Krishna spoke with him. So a personality like Arjuna came into chaos. He revealed his heart to Krishna. They had a dialogue. And what was the outcome? Well, Arjuna was very enlightened. He was very clear then. Oh wow! So he went through the dialogue, yeah, and he came out of it and he fought valiantly. So what should I do? Follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. I think myself to be too smart, although I'm not smart. And life always has broken my neck and back a few times. So this time I must take shelter of Krishna, give it a good oral reception, chant the holy names of Krishna, associate with devotees. Then I can find real bliss in life and give up living like makeup, come to natural senses. So this is again Arjuna's realization. Hmm. Neither the demigods or demons, because demigods are so busy in sense enjoyment, and demons also so busy in sense enjoyment or planning, plotting how to overtake demigods and all. Everyone they are very very occupied. They do not have that hunger actually. They do not have that humility to understand that we are a bit in a precarious situation. In earthly platform, we are so blessed that there is suffering here. In heavens, there is no suffering. Demigods reside in the heaven. There is a heavenly population also, and demigods look after them and there is no suffering there. And in demons, they reside in the lower planet systems where there is also enjoyment actually, lots of enjoyment and some sort of other nature of punishment or suffering. So they are very much engrossed there. There's very little scope for their free movement. But in human life, in this earthly planet, we are very blessed. There's suffering and there's inquisitiveness. This crying and detachment can be developed in this human form of life in this earthly planet. And these are very much required, essential to develop humility. And then Krishna is not far. So any thoughts, questions or comments? Okay, let's read one more, maybe last for today. स्वयमेवात्मना आत्मानं वेत्थ त्वां पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावन भूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते. Lucy read translation. Ellie, Lucy and Harsha share purports please one by one.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, Origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
The Supreme Lord Krishna can be known by persons who are in a relationship with him through the discharge of the devotional service, like Arjuna and his followers. Persons of demonic or atheistic mentality cannot know Krishna. Mental speculation that leads one away from the Supreme Lord is a serious sin, and one who does not know Krishna should not try to comment on the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the statement of Krishna, and since it's the science of Krishna, it should be understood from Krishna as Arjuna understood it. It should not be received from the atheistic persons. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yeah, 111. Vadanti tat tattvavidas. Tattvam yajnanam advayam. Brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti sabdyate. One of the very principal uh, defining shlokas in Srimad Bhagavatam. which in a very neat manner helps us understand what is Brahma, what is Paramatma, what is Bhagwan. Krishna is Brahma, Krishna is Param Brahma. Whenever we say Param Brahma or even Brahm too in that context, it should be referred to Krishna only. Paramatma means a referral to Krishna only. Devotees understand that Paramatma means Krishna, source of Paramatma is Krishna only, and Bhagwan, Swayam Bhagwan Krishna. Okay, kindly continue.
The supreme truth is realized in three aspects: as impersonal Brahman, lo- localized Paramatma, and the last as the supreme persons of Godhead. So at the last stage of understanding the absolute truth, one comes to the supreme personality of Godhead. A common man, or even a liberated man who has realized impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatama, may not understand God's personality. Such men, therefore, may endeavor to understand the supreme persons of the verses of Bhagavad Gita, which are being spoken by this person, Krishna. Sometimes the impersonalists accept Krishna as Bhagavan, or accept his authority. Yet many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottam, the supreme person. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as Purushottam Ama. Yet one still may not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as Bhuta Bhavana. And if one comes to know him as the father of all living entities, still one may not know him as a supreme controller. Therefore, he is addressed here as the Bhutesa, the supreme controller of everyone. And even one knows Krishna as the supreme controller of all living entities. Still one may not know that he is the origin of all the demigods. Therefore, he is addressed herein as Deva, the worship god of all demigods. And even if one knows him as the worship god of all demigods, one may not know that he is the supreme proprietor of everything. Therefore, he is addressed as Jagapati. Thus, the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by realization of Arjuna. And we should follow the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is.
Harshari translation.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
See, when Krishna does something, he doesn't leave anything like half done or 90% job done or almost done. No. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he has given us his introduction, his identification, yeah. And that is a blessing upon us actually, the real blessing upon us. So he has revealed to us who we are, who he is, what is material nature, what is karma, what is the time factor, what is the purpose of life, how to attain Krishna, and furthermore. And likewise, Arjuna, through his realization as well, a pure devotee, he doesn't leave any ambiguity, anything vague, anything clear, unclear, or anything like wishy-washy. No, very perfect realization, pure realizations, and nothing like misleading or nothing like incomplete. So, from all sense, see what Arjuna is continuing in his glorification and realization. Swam evatmanam atmanam. You appear by your own sweet will. See, Krishna does anything by his own sweet will because he's the supreme authority, the independent authority. Is it fair to say if Krishna is claiming, saying that I'm the source of all material and spiritual worlds, meaning that Krishna is the independent personality. For one has to be the source, means he has to be independent, right? Would you agree? If he's the ultimate source, if one is the source, the ultimate source, then he must be independent. If not independent, how can one be the source then? In this world, we see, okay, I go to train ticket to buy a ticket, something to do. The person behind the desk, okay, he's the source or point of contact. He is independent, but to some extent. For me, he's quite independent, but within his section chamber, he may not be fully independent. He's not fully independent and not so much also independent. But so in this world, we see we all have find one source, one point of contact, and they have their relative share of dependency and independency. But Krishna, it's not like that. Krishna is not dependent on law of karma, on material nature, time factor. No, Krishna is completely independent. And guess what? He's completely dependent as well. But dependent on whom? On his pure devotees, whom he considers his own. See, in this life, there are two things only. Either we can consider Krishna to be our own. Yeah? If we can make Krishna to be our own, if we can become Krishna's. But what are we aspiring generally? Where am I heading? To make this world as my own. And this world is temporary, it can never be my own. It can never be. But if I'm striving to worldly name, fame, possessions, worldly accolades, I will end up getting what? Only 6 feet of land, no more than that. That is where I would be ending up myself. But if I see the source of this world is Krishna, huh? So I should aspire myself to make myself Krishna's. So Krishna appears out of his own sweet will, and because he is the source of all the material and spiritual worlds, so he is independent. One who is independent meaning he is completely powerful. So whatever Krishna does, he does it out of his own sweet will. No one can force him other than his pure devotee, and that's not a force as well, like out of foundation or some compulsion. The only way Krishna acts is out of love. The only way he acts is out of love. We are largely driven out of lust. Lust as in not on the physical sense, perhaps that as well, but largely driven out of ambition, some desires, some longing, hankering. And hankering for what? Matter. For that only. So here Arjuna is saying, you appear swayam evatmanam atmanam. Appear out of your own sweet will. Veta, veta means to know. Tvam purushottama. Purushottama. Best among beings. One who is above the modes of material nature. That is also one meaning of Purushottama. Uttama means the greatest of all persons. Purushottama, greatest among all persons. Bhuta Bhavana Bhuteshu. Bhut we understand living entities, and Bhuta Bhavana Bhuteshu. Bhutesha is the master of all living entities. Deva Deva Jagat Pate. So it's not like, okay, he's a higher god, he's a better version. No, Deva Deva Jagat Pate. Gods of the gods, of all the demigods. Jagatpate, the source of everyone, maintainer, provider of everyone, Lord of the entire universe. Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha, of all living entities, you are the supreme master, the supreme controller. If we are slightly, see that 10.8 is tremendously powerful. If we are slightly intelligent, if we are slightly sane, we would understand that Krishna is the source. Krishna himself claiming, I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. And if I know one who is the source, what should I do? This is what Krishna says, right? Those who are wise. If I'm wise enough, then yes. Okay, I fall in a relationship with the source then. And it is the source only which can saturate us, as in, like flowers or fruits come from a tree. When the tree is given sun, there is proper sunlight, weather is good and all. And most importantly, when water is given at the roots, not on the separate branches or twigs or stems, no. When water is given at the roots, then yes, then fruits will in due course of time come about. Likewise, when I'm watering the root of my existence, the source of my existence, then I can see the fruits of devotional service coming about. And how do I water the roots of my existence, the source of my existence? By chanting the holy names of Krishna. The most practical, the most ideal method in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. The most sublime and simple method. For a complicated person, simple method is what is required. Krishna knows we are very, very complicated. So, to come out of this entanglement, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chanting, doing japa on beads, that will clear all the doubts away actually. That will make so much of room and space in the heart where Radha Krishna are already there residing. So, this is the thing, watering the source of my existence, the root of my existence through reading, hearing, chanting, and then the dormant Krishna consciousness, it is just a matter of time, it will sprout out, come about. Again, see, in this process of planting a tree, the tree needs sunlight, the tree needs proper air. Then on our part, environment, it needs a suitable environment. We should be watering the roots of a tree. Also, as the plant is growing, before it becomes a tree, every plant, it needs protection, it needs shelter, it needs guidance, it needs fencing. It needs fencing, and once it has been given due environment, sunlight, water, proper fencing, then it becomes a tree. And we see such strong trees living for long life that when they are chopped, it takes about 4 or 5 days or maybe more to chop a tree. Then they don't need that fencing and all because they're so strong. Likewise, us, we have to mature. We have to mature. We have to water the roots of our tree. Now, see, think of this. Look, sunlight is there, air is there, environment is suitable. But if one is not watering the tree, tell me what will happen to the plant. If one is not watering the roots of the plant, sun is doing its job, air, environment, everything is there. But if one is not watering the roots of a plant, will the plant grow or will it die?
It will die.
It will die. No? See, the sun's rays will kill the plant actually. If the plant is not properly sheltered. Likewise, likewise, if I'm not watering the roots of my existence, the source of my existence, this world is going to butcher me. Or I'm allowing myself to be butchered in this world. I would allow, see, if I'm not dovetailing myself in Krishna, then I'm exposing to material nature. Dance like a puppet in the hands of material nature, Maya. And no one has ever found saturation or any nourishment dancing in the tune of Maya. Harsha, you complete this. There's this saying in Hindi, right? Na Maya mili. But how does it go?
Na Maya
Na
Mili na
Maya,
Ram.
na Maya Mili na Ram. Na Ram, Lord Ram. So means neither Maya, neither sense gratification nor attaining Lord Ram. That is material sense gratifications. Look at the irony. Person gets no substance out of it and he feels like I've been sucked altogether, but I got nothing in return. So we know one who has gone after Maya, he couldn't get Maya also, and what to speak of Lord Ram. One who went after material world, name, fame, possession, worldly things, he didn't get uh, this. He didn't get the worldly sense gratification as well. No, and what to speak of Lord Ram. But those who dared to water the source of the existence in proper environment with proper fencing, in due course of time, they realize transcendence. So this is Arjuna's realization. He is helping us understand who Krishna is from all rounds, you know, not sparing any scope for any confusion or doubts. It's not like one of those gods, one of the gods, no. Deva Jagatpate. And not he himself is not just saying this is not a partnership between Krishna and Arjuna, no. Narada, Sita, Devala, scriptures say. Na? Like in society, do not we say, oh, where is it written in law? Is there a law? Show me the law, come on. Where is it written? Does the constitution say for it? What does the law say? So in spiritual life, yeah, what does the scripture say? Scriptures are apaurushya. Paurushya means by someone mundane or by a human being, which means there is scope for defects, there is scope for mistakes, because senses are imperfect. Human beings can become illusioned or are illusioned, commit mistakes, and human beings have this cheating propensity. Surely, to show that I'm a donor, but underlying could be a cheating propensity. But Bhagavad Gita scriptures, they are apaurushya, as in not human written. Yeah. Prabhupada, he wrote exactly what his Guru Maharaj told him to write, or exactly what he heard from his Guru Maharaj in disciplic succession. So coming all the way from Krishna. So this is apaurushya. And as devotees say, so Lucy and Ellie maybe can help me complete this, or Harsha if you know as well. The proof of the pudding is, not sure if it is spoken in Canada, but I think it is spoken in the UK,
We're
or
trying to
at least in
remember.
It is.
Isn't it just the proof is in the pudding?
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
proof is in the pudding, or proof of the pudding is in the eating also, I heard. Okay. Proof is in the pudding, or proof of the pudding is in the eating, quite commonly called in devotee circle at least. Yeah. So the proof of Krishna consciousness, well, until and unless I try and uh, take on board, how can I understand? How can I see? So, okay, maybe I will give you all peace on this note. Correct me if I'm saying wrong. There are hundreds, thousands, millions, trillions of excuses for me not becoming a devotee, for me not trying Krishna consciousness, for me not understanding, for me not taking on to Krishna consciousness. Hundreds, thousands, millions, trillions, zillions of excuses. But we wouldn't find a single reason. There isn't a single reason which is stopping me from becoming Krishna consciousness. If at all there is one reason, then please share. Is there any person in this world who cannot connect himself to Krishna? Can any person come forward with a genuine reason that for this reason I cannot practice Krishna consciousness? Think about it. And excuses, hundreds. millions, trillions, zillions, billions, whatnot, never ending. And excuses come because of what? Few things: weakness of the heart, cheating of the mind, yeah, because of being overpowered by illusion or wanting to be overpowered by illusion. And how do I get rid of excuses and come to overpower these excuses which are overpowering me? By only taking a higher association. By only taking a higher association. By only keeping the company of spiritually enlightened persons. Those who are devotees, those who have a devotee sentiment, those who are well versed in scriptures, those who have got the etiquette and the relationships of with devotees. Then yes, those excuses will go away, and I wouldn't find any reason to blame someone, but I would find only lacking in myself to give myself further to Krishna. And see, in this lacking also, one doesn't feel like a moroseness. Generally, in material sense, if I feel like, oh, I'm lacking, then I feel, oh, I'm such an idiot, I'm such an idiot. And it brings a sense of really low self-esteem. But in Krishna consciousness, the more one realizes how much lacking he is, it strengthens, actually builds up his reputation in the eyes of Krishna. So to end with this question, who should we try to please? The world or Krishna?
Krishna.
Exactly. Can this world ever be pleased?
Never.
Never. Karuna Bhavan is situated on a hilltop in Les Mexico. I think about 5,000 houses in Les Mexico. Even on a Sunday evening, if I go out in each and every house with a rose, a card, a flapjack, and say a sweet word, still some people will get offended. So, this is a fact. We cannot please everyone for sure. I cannot even please fully myself if I'm not in association with Krishna. Only Krishna has the capacity to please everyone and everything. Why? Because He's the source. He's the source. I can allow myself to be becoming an instrument, to become a force, an instrument, a vessel, an inspiration of Krishna. The mercy can be channelized via me if I am flexible enough for so that Krishna can use me, if I am open enough, if I'm non-sectarian enough, if I'm genuine enough. So our calculation should always be, whom am I trying to please? Am I trying to please Krishna or this world? No one has ever managed to please this world. Krishna can easily be pleased. So if I try to follow a devotee like Arjuna, I would become nothing but a pure devotee of Krishna. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? See, world is here for showbiz only. Material world means, in Hindi they say, "Paisa fek, tamasha dekh." Yeah, it's very true. That is, world is here for showbiz only. You know, office hours, lunchtime, okay, people meet up, or after office hours, pubs. What is generally discussed in pubs? If not about women and football and politics, is there anything else outside of this? Women, football, and politics that is as such discussed in pubs, or about moaning, complaining. Oh, this thing happened, that thing happened, this news, that news, that's all. So this world is meaning cheap showbiz only. There's no substance. But see 10.9, Machita Madgata Prana. Now, prana, when devotees they congregate, they meet up and discuss Krishna, talk about Krishna, it brings life. Brings life, such simplicity. Okay, on this note, maybe I give you all peace. Thank you very much for your kind listening and
Thank you.
Thank you so
encouragement.
much.
We meet up tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.